welcome into KSL Sports Rewinds, our Bracketology video, as always presented by Heidemann and Associates. If you have any legal needs, the experts at Heidemann and Associates can take care of you, and they'll even give you a free consultation if you tell them Rewind sent you. All you got to do is give them a call, 801-472-7742. You can also visit them online at utah.law to learn more about the services that they can offer you. Jeff, first round of playoffs are through. We got second rounds, and that means we get to make picks. Are you excited?
Love it. I love it. Picks are the best. Let's get into it.
All right, it's time to make our picks for the 6A Bracketology. Jeff, take us through your 6A state tournament pick by pick.
Man, 6A has never felt more open. I think we talked about it a couple of weeks ago, Dane, that maybe in the entire existence of 6A, it's a relatively new classification. It maybe has never felt this open. Let's get into it. Corner Canyon over Westlake. Look, Corner's got a bunch of injuries, and I'll talk more about that in a minute. But I think that Corner over Westlake, there's still too much offensive firepower there. Weber and Bingham, that's a sneaky good game. These are two teams that I think match up really, really well. I like the Warriors over Bingham. Bingham's got a really good defense. The offense hasn't quite kept up with the defense. I think the Warriors, they have enough on offense that they can score enough points to outpace the Bingham offense. So give me Weber in a close one, setting up a Weber Corner Canyon game. And here's where it gets crazy for me, Dane. Already, I like Weber over Corner Canyon. That's my big upset for the whole bracket. I think it happened.
Wow.
Corner can tell me that I'm wrong. They can, go out and beat Weber by 35, and then I'll never hear the end of it. But I think this year with the injuries, Weber's going to feel confident. Weber has a lot of talent on that roster as well. I like Weber over Corner Canyon. Crazy. Feels weird to even say that. All right, moving into the bottom left-hand section of the bracket. Give me Lehigh over Layton. And American Fork and Farmington. This is a rematch. These are two teams that have been on two different trajectories. American Fork got the best of Farmington early on. Farmington's been playing really good football. I think the Phoenix ultimately come through and they get the win. I would love, as a Region 1 guy, I'd love to pick another Region 1 upset here, but I can't quite do it. I think Lehigh gets the best of Farmington, and that sets up a Lehigh and Weber semifinal, and give me Lehigh to win that game and go to the championship game from that side of the bracket. Moving over to the other side, give me Skyridge over Riverton. That's a tough Riverton team, but Skyridge, just too much. That's a very, very good Skyridge team.
Yeah.
I like Davis over Mountain Ridge. Davis has stumbled, but I think that they've got the juice. They've got the talent to beat anybody. They've got to put it together and figure it out, and they've got to do it in a hurry. I think they will. I like Davis to go up against Skyridge. And then I think Skyridge gets the best. Skyridge is playing really good football right now. Keneal Sweetwine has been on a different level in the back half of the season. So I like Skyridge over Davis. Then the bottom right corner, Lone Peak over Harriman. I think Bot Mulitalo is getting closer to healthy. And assuming he plays, he's a difference maker. He maybe is the best overall player in the state of Utah, maybe the most disruptive player in the state of Utah. I like Lone Peak over Harriman. Syracuse and Fremont is going to be a very good game. These two teams know each other well. I'm really excited for that one. I think Fremont, I could go either way. I'm going to give the edge to Fremont. It's a home game, and I think Fremont has a little bit more consistency on offense. So I like the Silver Wolves to get past Syracuse, but that one could go either way. And then that sets up Fremont and Lone Peak. Give me Lone Peak in that game. And then a Skyridge Lone Peak rematch, that game's going to be close. I think it comes down to quarterback health, and we don't know exactly what's going to happen for Lone Peak at the quarterback spot. And assuming a healthy Keneal Sweetwine is there, I think Skyridge gets past Lone Peak. And then it's a battle of the Lehigh schools. It's Lehigh and Skyridge. Give me the Pioneers. They win one for Ed Larson. In his final game, he gets a 6A state championship. I think Lehigh, they've lost twice this year, but I think it's a combined total of 7 points. I think Lehigh, in neutral field settings, the way that community travels, they always fill up Rice-Eccles Stadium. It's going to feel a little bit like a home game. I think that Lehigh comes home and Ed Larson gets to ride off into the sunset with another championship ring in his pocket.
And you call me poetic. Come on, Jeff. you could write a book.
That is poetry. If that's what happens, that is poetry.
We'll call it Jeff's Pioneers. The title's already written.
Yes,
all you got to do is come up with 300 pages of content. All right. Hey, yeah, the news flash is that Jeff has Weber over Corner Canyon. My goodness, you're gonna make some people on the south end of the valley mighty upset with that one, Jeff. Woo!
Yeah, but my north end of Utah, we're all going to celebrate up here together.
They love you.
I'm not going to be able to go south of Salt Lake for a while, but up here where I live, I'm going to be a hero for a little bit.
Yeah, when you drive down to BYU, you might want to go through Heber and Park City for a little bit. All right, let's have a look at my bracket. I don't know if I'm quite as bold as Jeff, but let's see. All right, the first game, I'm going to go Westlake. I'm just kidding. I'm going Corner Canyon. I think, while they do have injuries, they've actually played really good football. You wouldn't know that they're missing a lot of their offense the way they've been playing, and that defense has played well. I'll go Corner. Weber, being in mind with you, sneaky good game here. I like Weber on the road. Again, I think their offense can find enough points. But if Bingham can get a turnover or two and score off of that, they can make this game ugly and low scoring, and they get a win. But I'm going to go Weber on the road. I got Lehigh over Layton, and I've got, I'm really tempted here. I'm going to go Farmington to get a home win, but I think this is a really close game. AF could go and pull that one off. You know what, Jeff? Yeah.
Ooh. With this much thought process, okay. I don't know.
Hey,
man.
You went bold. I'll go AF. I will go American Fork heading on the road. It's been a tough year for AF, but the one thing that has not been tough is scoring points. They have found ways to score, including against really good defense. I will take AF in an upset on the road. I'll go Cavemen there. So that sets up Lehigh and American Fork for me. I just think Lehigh's too much in this one. Offense too good, defense too good. I'll take Pioneers advancing to a semifinal. And Weber, Corner Canyon. Jeff, I thought about it, but no, I'm going Corner Canyon. I got to represent Dusty. I got Corner Canyon here over Weber, getting back to Rice-Eccles Stadium. So that sets up a Corner versus Lehigh semi, and this is where I think the firepower of Lehigh and the depth is going to be too much for Corner. I think this game can be close, but I do think Lehigh gets the win over Corner to advance to a state championship game. Other side of the bracket, I've got Skyridge over Riverton. I'll take Davis over Mountain Ridge again. These two teams played earlier this year. It was all darts. I'll roll with Davis here at home. Lone Peak over Harriman. And then I'll take Fremont over Syracuse. I agree. Tight game here. But I will lean Fremont. Fremont needs to bounce back, but I'll take Fremont here at home. So Fremont against Lone Peak, I think that Lone Peak defense going to have a special or two for Fremont. I'll take Lone Peak to get the win there. And then Skyridge against Davis. I think this is a game Davis can hang around in, but I think Skyridge is going to be too much in this one. So I'll take Skyridge to advance to a semifinal. Skyridge and Lone Peak. This was a great game the first go around. Came down to final seconds. I'm going to actually take Lone Peak. It's not frequently that Lone Peak gets swept in a season. So I'll take Lone Peak here. That defense was feisty against Skyridge. I think they can get some extra possessions. I'll take Lone Peak to get the win over the Falcons. And so I have Lone Peak and Lehigh in my state championship game. And Jeff, this was a really, really tough one for me to figure out where I wanted to go with it. You talk about the poetry of Coach Larson, his last year, but yet there's also something about Lone Peak has been here. Like, this is just something that they do. Lone Peak got the win over Lehigh, 24-21 this year. I do think Lehigh is able to do enough to get the win. I'll take Lehigh as my 6A state champion over Lone Peak. Poetry.
I mean, it's Ed Larson's final year, right? I mean, I think that would be an incredible story. I don't know if this is a bold take, but here's my prediction, Dane. This is the year during these playoffs, PJ Taki announces himself to the entire state of Utah as one of the premier defenders in the state. He plays for that Lehigh team, and he's everywhere. I mean, he can hang in coverage. He can play that linebacker. He gets after the quarterback. I think we're going to say a lot of the PJ Taki two times is what I like to call him. And Taki two times, we're going to hear a lot of his name, and a lot of people are going to be talking about him after Lehigh wins state.
I'll just throw this out there. Should my bracket come to place, state championship games are held at Utah, which has been like home of the tight end for the last number of years. Of course, this was like National Tight End Day or something like that on Sunday this last week. So you can have some premier tight end play with Brighton U out of Lehigh and Cogsworth, who's been really good for Lone Peak. You could have a tight end versus tight end matchup on the field of the tight end in the state of Utah. Throwing that out there.
Yeah, I like it.
Jeff, any sleepers that you have in 6A, a team that you're like, yeah, we didn't pick them, but watch out for them?
When Davis is going right, Davis can score with anybody. They have to play really, really well. They've got to execute as well as they have, but they've got the talent to do it. And so I look at that Davis team with Traden Bessinger, with Bodie Sparrow, with the weapons that they have in that rushing attack. They can run the ball really, really well. Yeah, I look at that and I think, okay, Davis can hang. Davis can do it. They've struggled execution-wise at times this year. They've been a little bit hot and cold, but when they're hot, I think they could score with anybody. This is going to be a very defensive-heavy state championship or state playoffs. I think this year maybe a little bit different than what we've seen. I think it's a lot of really good defenses. If Davis's offense can find a gear, I think they do have something that a lot of other teams don't have, and they could make a run in the playoffs.
Interesting. They do have the weapons. Can they come together, and can they get over the hump? They've had opportunities to try to take out some of these teams from Utah County, Salt Lake County in the playoffs. Been a challenge, but you're right. They do have a roster built to do it. You know who my sleeper is? It's Vince Francis, because he's asleep right now as we're filming this. I'm very, very disappointed in my sleeper pick, Vince Francis. There you go. There's our picks for the 6A bracketology. Who do you got? Who do you have picking or winning your 6A bracket? Hit us up in the comments or reply to the video. Be nice, but let us know who you have as your pick. And, final note, Dusty would be very, very disappointed in Jeff. If you want to know why, go back and rewatch the video. But for Vince Francis, for Jeff Hansen, my name is Dane Stewart. Thank you for joining us. And a reminder, you can catch the 6A tournament round games, as well as semifinals and championships right here on KSLSports.com. Come join us at Rice Eccles Stadium. We'll have pregame, halftime, and postgame for you for every semifinal and state championship game, only on KSLSports.com. Have a great night, everyone, and we look forward to seeing you in the playoffs.